Okay, so I wanted to show the filtration I did. This is the 260 gallon cube tank. I got the stand and canopy completed on it. The filtration is hard to see as far as what's inside. I actually didn't take a picture before it was done, unfortunately. That was dumb on my part. You can kind of see it, but basically I did drill 2 holes. I do have actually a picture of the 2 holes, but I drilled 2 holes right in the middle, offset slightly to the back, for the plumbing, the intake and output. You can see one of the outputs. It is a lock line. It's a dual lock line. There's another one right there. So I have them kind of going out. So one goes that way and the other one comes this way, and then the power head here, it creates a circulation in the tank. So it does pretty good. The plumbing, you see if I can show it, there might not be enough light, but the plumbing underneath here, so it is the FX6 I have running on it, and it runs underneath directly, and I don't know if I can show, I don't think there's enough light, but I do have it set up right here. You can kind of see it, but right here, this is actually the intake to the canister, and it comes down. There's actually a T there. It comes off. There's a ball valve here, and that's a quick disconnect for a garden hose. What I do is I quick disconnect it, runs straight to the bathtub. I can just turn off the filter, open the valve, and it drains down to basically wherever I want, up to 6 inches of water in the tank, and that keeps it going as far as water changes. The other side is just they're just L barbed outputs. Both do have, they're hard to see, but there is a ball valve there. They do both have a ball valve, so that I can shut them off if I ever take the tank out or something like that. And the holes are big enough in the stand to be able to take the tank out with the bulkheads on and the ball valves, but it is a bit of a challenge. Either way, it actually turned out pretty good, and is running pretty well too. So there's actually a lot of space down here. That's an FX5. Technically, if I really wanted to, there's 4 sections in here. There's a divider across both ways, makes a cross. So I could, if I really wanted to, I could put 4 canister filters under here. They're FX6s, FX5s. I personally don't really use anything else. I could use a Sun with a UV filter on it or something, but I could potentially run them in unison, where basically it comes in, goes into this canister, runs to this canister, and then back up. That's a possibility I may explore down the road. It's hard to run tubing that actually runs properly at 1 inch. The acrylic tube that I use is that acrylic stuff. You can get it at Ace Hardware by the foot. It runs pretty good, but it does kink if you bend it too much. So you can see these are, it is hard to see under here, but these are bent just enough to get them to connect. But if I bend them any more than that, they pretty much will kink. So I have to be careful. I'm also trying not to put too much stress on the units that come straight down, because it would put stress on the bulkheads and potentially pop the seal. So obviously trying not to do that if I can avoid it. So, because that of course would drain the tank into my floor. So yeah, so there's obviously some danger factor to that, as far as the danger of the tank draining if the bulkhead seals pop or something. But so far it runs great. You can't really see the current when you look up at the top here. You can't see it really push much up there, but it does really good. It does push out a decent amount. There's one of the outputs is right there, and it shoots, that one shoots this way, and then the one back on the other side shoots that way.
So the idea was to be able to build the rock pile right in the middle. There's an entire colony of frontos. I think there's now 7 of them. There was one in there that passed away today. But there are 7 of them, ranging from 4 inches up to about 8 or 9 inches, and they hide pretty well in there. They do a pretty good job. So they seem to love it. And you can see some of the bigger ones back there hiding. But they do seem to love it. They can get up inside. The entire middle is actually hollow, except for the 2 plumbing pieces that are coming up through the middle. But I've got my my biker hides in there, my 1.5 foot long tire track eel. I've got a clown knife in there. They all do well, and then my pike. I do have 3 pike that swim around, but they stay up at the top, so they don't need any hiding places. But that is the filtration on the 260.